everybody. I gave a lecture last year about artificial intelligence in the jewelry business. Some of you were here. I think a lot of you weren't. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a recap on what it is that we spoke about. And I want to start by saying a few things that aren't on the slides, but I think are very relevant, and just share with you some of my experience. I was fortunate enough a couple of months ago to attend a lecture at the GIA. But it wasn't the GIA directly, it was actually at Harvard Business School. And GIA had a leadership program where they invited 50 people from around the world to attend the business school at Harvard. At that lecture, which wasn't a lecture, it was a 4-day affair where you actually lived on campus, we talked about business, but we also talked about data, and a very high focus was on artificial intelligence. I have never in my life been so scared and so excited from what I saw. So much so that, again, I felt I had to share what I learned to the trade in Australia, because that's what I love to do. And I just want to add here that we're very fortunate enough to have a guest from America, from the GIA, which is Richard Pescara, sitting right there. And at 1 o'clock today, Richard's going to be giving a speech and a lecture about the problems that we are all going to be faced with being aware of lab versus natural and the testing side of things. So I'd recommend everybody come at 1 o'clock and listen to Richard as well. So let's walk through here a little bit of help everyone understand, how does AI actually work? Okay, I'll let you read it. It's many layers of technology together to contextualize AI, because artificial intelligence, we think of science fiction. So let's move on. There's a concept here called neural networks and machine learning, all right? They're a little bit different. So I'm going to walk through and just explain the layers. When they start artificial intelligence, the way they were thinking of is, how do you teach a child? Okay? You show them a picture, yay, you smile, they get positive recognition, they understand. But what they did initially, the first foray into teaching machines to think, was to take pictures of cats and see, could the machine identify a cat in a picture? And they got all these people in Amazon, millions of people who were doing these jobs for 1 cent an image, to identify the cat. And slowly but surely, the machines learned the cat. You all have seen the traffic lights, how we use that tool to, as a security, are you a bot or not a bot? Where are the lights inside the picture? That's actually used by them not just for what you think, which is, are you a machine or are you a person? It's actually to continually teach AI what it's doing. So, equipping computers with the ability to analyze large amounts of information and to find patterns. Okay? I'm going to jump for a second just because it has cats there and tell you an interesting story. I'm jumping a bit, but that's how I talk. Okay? And that is that right now, they're using the face of cats. They're taking photos of the face of cats and trying to work out, what is the cat meaning? What is it thinking? You don't think the cat has a lot of facial expressions, but the computers do, right? So we've all seen facial recognition. They're analyzing the face of cats, and I thought this was so cool, they're looking at their ears. Because if you think that a cat actually moves its ears. And now they're going another step further. They're looking at cows and pigs. And are they having sounds that they're making? Because it's not just facial, it's sounds. What is the sounds that they make when they're going to milk them? Right? Is there a happy sound or a sad sound? And this is where it's going. All right? Okay, let's move on. So, data models. This is how computer organizes the links. You can read it. They test it. The machine is asked to make decisions based on a model. So it says, okay, we want to look at cats or faces, right? And these answers are validated. Did it get it right? Did it get it wrong? Yes, no. Very simple, right? This is how you teach. Just like a child. Yes, no, got it. Okay. And you feed it back and say, hey, you got it right 80% of the time. All right, let's move on. Now, who knows this company, Seren? Yeah, a few hands up. We actually have a young lady here who worked with Seren. Tamara is sitting in the front here, so she knows Seren well. So Seren, for those who don't know, Seren is the most sophisticated company, and when I say the most, I think Richard would say it's up there with the top, right? Maybe GA is the most. Okay, there you go, Richard. Now, Seren is one of the most sophisticated companies in the world where they develop the technology, take a rough diamond, put it into a box, scan it with lasers, and tell the diamond cutter what they can yield out of it. How many diamonds can they cut out of it, and can they get a VS and SI? It tells them all that. And when they were able to develop that, what happened was the whole diamond cutting polishing industry that used to be all these old guys sitting there looking at stones thinking, shifted from one country to another. It used to be all in Israel, and then suddenly India said, hang on, we can do this labor much less expensive, and the whole industry shifted to India. For those who don't know, if you are in the diamond industry, 95% of all the diamonds in the world are cut and polished in India in one city, Surat. It's mind-boggling, but that is a fact. Okay, so that's a data model. Moving on. So now it started to say, well, where do we go next? Natural language processing. This is what allows the user to communicate with AI. You know, this voice, Siri, and all these sorts of stuff. You're talking to the computer, right? And it's using human speech. But what it's doing there, which is very cool, is it's actually thinking, give me a string of words, and how do I put these words together, and what could that mean? So that's a natural language model. The string is getting bigger and bigger of what it's understanding. Okay? So that's now we've gone to the next level. Let's move on. Generative AI. Now we're getting, sorry for my language, now we're getting scary shit. Okay? Why? Read that. This is the result of components working together. Most people referring to when they speak about AI, they talk about ChatGPT, Perplexity. Who knows about Perplexity? Hands? Anyone? Okay, I got 30%. You guys, do you know about Perplexity? Okay. You know, I said I got really scared, right? Really scared. I don't use Google anymore. You use Google. I don't use Google. Why? Because I can take my mobile phone and ask Perplexity any question, and it will be able to find the answer better. It is, in my opinion, ChatGPT is great. Perplexity is a step up. Why is it a step up? And I'll explain a bit further, but I just want to tell you one thing. Because when you ask a question of Google and you get an answer, you don't know where the information is coming from. How do you know if it's good information or garbage, right? If I say, you know, Carriage Works is the best location in the world to have a jewelry show, and it might come up and say, yep, it's the best location. Well, Google might do that because Carriage Works paid for a lot of Google ads, right? And so it came up the top, right? Perplexity will give you a little number in the corner, and the number in the corner will say where it got the information from. So you can start to verify whether that's solid or not. So we're talking about the quality of information, not just information. Okay? So let's look at the pictures. How does it work? A computer is programmed with neural network machine learning. Next step. Data is fed to the computer to create a model. Move on. Together, it forms the core of AI, and ultimately, the user makes a request. Natural language processes it, translates it. The AI uses the data model to generate the result of the request. It's really important for you to realize that the AI that we're talking about that is around today is trying to actually interpret what you're saying and then saying, what are the possibilities? Today, okay, we've recapped. Now I want to jump into what's available now. Any questions? Yes, Tamara. Yep. Okay, the question is, how much data do you need to feed to get the right answer? I think it would depend on topic. I don't have an exact answer because I'm not a data scientist. Joe, do you have a better answer to that? Not quite? No, not really. Okay. Okay. Why did you come? It's infinitesimal. I'm actually going to talk about something in a second which will give you a certain interesting answer to that vaguely, but it'll show you the problems. Okay, so some of the challenges that we're going to touch on. How can you use AI to gain insights into your business? That's why I'm here today. Customize chatbots to act as shopping assistants. This is really cool stuff as well. And how can you put generative AI to use in your business? I'm going to show you stuff that you probably haven't seen, hopefully. All right. So, moving on. Some of the challenges facing AI. So I just want to talk about some of the negative stuff first, get it out of the way, and then we can move on. So it's been facing a number of challenging issues, and in particular things are copyright issues. Why is the copyright issue so problematic for AI? I'll tell you why. AI has gone out there and is reading every single document, every single book in the world. If I'm an author, which I am, do you read my magazine? Do you watch my magazine? No, kid. I don't, not really. It reads everything, every book. But it didn't buy the book. It didn't buy the magazine subscription, right? But it's taking the data out of it. So the people who are writing and who own, book publishers and authors suddenly are saying, hang on, it's all the data is being taken out of my material. Not so nice. Another issue, content spam. So what it's doing is it's reading through everyone's thing, it's working out everyone else's information, and it's spamming. Google now have a spammy tool, and if you're just repeating what everyone else is saying, they're going in there and they're going to penalize you. I don't know if some of you may be aware, there was a thing called the black box story a little while ago. It was probably early days where people were able to create these fake sites and do all these ways to optimize their website. When Google finally worked it out, all these websites that were at the top got smashed. They were like on page 10, okay? And Google is very powerful at making a change, and you won't know it until it's too late in your business. So if you're doing something that's unethical, right, you're going to get punished, and it will be caught out. It's like plagiarism when people copy out essays. All right, data privacy. They're using your data. They're taking customers' information. Do you know? Do you not know? Did you give permission? This is an ongoing problem for everybody. And hallucinations. What is a hallucination in AI? Anyone have an answer? Put your hand up. Nicole.
It's where the AI makes something up.
All right. So for those who didn't hear, Nicole's right. It's when AI makes something up. So hallucinations, people think of like drugs. You take drugs, which I would never know about, and you have a hallucination, right? AI is trying to create stuff. So where they had some really crazy things happen is that lawyers went to court and presented a court case to the judge to say, here's a court case which supports my client. And the judge went through and went, that's great, but this case doesn't exist. The guy went on to ChatGPT and said, find me a case that supports my argument. So AI made one up. AI's doing that. It's creating hallucinations. I'm going to show you some hilarious hallucinations later on that you're going to go, you're not going to see it initially, and then I'm going to point it out to you and you're going to go, what? That's crazy. So you have to be very careful of hallucinations, which is again why I use Perplexity, because it shows me the reference of the information, that it's not made up garbage. All right? So if you have a look at that, that's what Perplexity does. It tells you the sources, and that's really, really important. Okay, very, very, very important. If you tell someone a number or a stat, you better know what you're talking about, otherwise you're going to look like a fool. Okay? Moving on. So how can it help you gain insights into your business? Who here uses Excel in business? Yeah, half the people use Excel? All right. So let's show you something. Who's heard of Copilot? A few? Who's used it? A few. Not many. All right. We're going to show you a little video where what you can do if you use Microsoft products is you can use Copilot, okay, to look at your Excel spreadsheet and find some information for you for what you're looking for and ask it questions.
Copilot in Excel helps you make sense of all your data. Say you need to analyze this quarter's sales results. You start by asking Copilot to analyze the data and give you 3 key trends. Within seconds, you've got what you need. But you want to drill in. You ask Copilot a follow-up question about one of the trends. Copilot creates a new sheet, giving you a sandbox to play in and helping you better understand what's happening. You ask Copilot to visualize what contributed to the decline in sales growth this period. Copilot adds a little color to make the problem jump off the page. Now you want to dig deeper and ask a follow-up question with a what-if scenario. Copilot not only answers your question, it creates a simple model and even asks if you want to learn more about what it did with a step-by-step breakdown. Finally, you can ask it to create a graph of your projected model. Copilot in Excel turned a sea of data into clear insights and actions.
They paid me for that. No, not really. But here's the thing I want you to be aware of. Some people think, oh great, I'm going to throw everything to ChatGPT or Copilot or whatever. It's fantastic. And I would say to you, if you have a small business, you can do that, no big deal. If you have a little bit bigger business or you have information that you don't want out in the public, you need to think very carefully where you are posting your AI questions, because that data goes into the big pool of data and you suddenly lose it. So it's a bit of a balancing act. I wouldn't go crazy worried about that, but I would think about larger businesses and that, or very proprietary information. Do you really want that out in the public? Okay? So, you might be using an Excel spreadsheet, but you wouldn't necessarily jump into Copilot to do that unless you were talking to, your management team to say, hey, can I use Copilot for that? And they say, no, that's not ring-fenced to be able to get you the answers or to be safe and secure. Okay, hold it there. The end of my GIA thing at Harvard, we had an amazing professor. His name was Hubert Joly. And he finished 4 days of Harvard with 3 words that had burned into my head, and I said, I have to share this with everyone. And this is what he said. If you are not thinking about these 3 components in your business in the future, you may be in trouble. Those 3 components are data, AI, and of course people. So let's remember one thing. We are all in the people business. It doesn't matter what you do, you're in the people business, right? You're selling diamonds, you're selling insurance, you're selling fine jewelry, you're selling something that you want to interact with people, trust and all these things. But you have to understand how to think about what data you're capturing about your client, how are you storing it, what are you going to do with it, and then how can you incorporate artificial intelligence to help you. I have a strong belief, and it's been reinforced, it's not that people are going to lose their jobs. Will it happen? Maybe a little bit. It's about how to make your job better, how to be better at what you do, and don't waste time on crap you don't have to do, because AI can do this for you. It can speed things along. It can help you. Which is why I actually, every morning, ask AI a question, a different question. Every morning. I have fun with it. I really do. So I really ask you to think about this as a takeaway. It's only 3 words, but it was like, whoa for me. Okay. This is the guy, Hubert Joly. He saved Best Buys. Best Buys is one of the big, it's like JB Hi-Fi in Australia, but it was, 20 times bigger or 100 times bigger, right? And it was a multi-billion-dollar company. It was going bust. He turned it around. He was our lecturer, okay? And he said something which I love. He said his philosophy is purposeful leadership, to empower people who must be the center of the business, treating profit as the outcome rather than the main goal. And I can tell you, we, in our business, that's what we do. We want to empower people, right? And I brought that slide in because yes, I'm talking AI, and yes, I'm talking data, but it's the people that will make the difference. And I really love that. He blew that company up and grew it in a few years by 330%. Pretty amazing story. Okay, don't fear AI. It's a tool to improve our role. At the end of the day, we're all in the people business. Let's not forget that. I love technology, but it's the relationships, right? Last night, we saw a sense of community. People won prizes. We had a few hundred people together. It was a great experience. This is why we're here at a trade show. All right, let's get into some fun stuff. So, customized chatbots acting as shopping assistants. Who wouldn't like to have one of those in their website, right? So, we're going to have fun here. This is something that Joe over here developed, right? And you're going to see how it can work. So someone comes into your website, it says, great to see you, and keep going, Joe. All right, allows, right. They type in, I'm looking for a present for my girlfriend. She likes emerald cut diamonds, white gold. Okay, we're just going to do a little simulation, it's just recorded, but this is basically what happens. Thinking, and it starts to answer. Now, we've all seen chatbots, right? Like you've seen, online chat, and normally it's someone behind there typing. I mean, we use a version of that chatting, but chatbots means the computer's generating the answers. You see what the computer's doing? The AI is built into your database, and it's pulling out of your database the samples of rings that I've asked. I want to see an emerald cut diamonds, and it's giving it to me, and as I'm asking questions, it's giving me answers. AI is at the point today where you can literally think you're talking to someone, going to the database, giving you the answer, bezel set, emerald cut diamond rings. It can take you through the sales process to a certain level. Think about it. You create your online shopping channel. It's late at night. Rami Baron is sitting in New York City because Nicole is asleep, right? And I'm on her website looking at her beautiful Art Deco pieces of jewelry, and I start asking questions, and it's able to answer them, right? This is today. This is not tomorrow. Yeah, you need some people to help you do some of this stuff, but this is basically what's happening. And it's not crazy expensive either. Okay? Let's move on, Joey. How can you put it to use, generative AI? Your research assistant, right? We all need a research assistant. I have a friend, by the way, who uses AI for her own personal psychologist. She decided she wanted to take AI and start asking questions about how she should deal with a family problem, right? You'd be amazed how incredibly accurate it is. If you don't like the answer, you know what you can tell it? Bullshit. You don't know my family. That's garbage. Okay, so let's keep going here. So, research assistant, let's ask a question. Go for it. Okay, hold it there. I want to do some research for me. Act as an expert on Instagram, in social media marketing. By the way, sometimes people tell you, ask questions really nicely. Sometimes you should say, please help me. Apparently, there is fact that it works better if you ask nicely. I know it sounds crazy, but there is, well, when I say there's fact, let's ask AI maybe if it is fact. I don't know, but anyway, just question everything. So there's the question. So here's the thing. Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears that young couples experience when they're looking to buy an engagement ring. Now don't hit the button. Okay, I want 3 or 4 from each one. So let's go. 10 desires. What would be 10 desires that people would have? Give me 1 or 2. Marley, what's a desire? Yeah. Okay, I want to get married, so that's a desire. All right. Give me another one. I want a big diamond. Okay. What's a fear? What would be a fear that someone would have about engagement? Price. Yeah, okay. Give me another fear. Raph. What if she said no? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So, Joe, I don't want to be ripped off. Whoa. That's a fear, huh? All right. So we put it in. Voila. What happened? Answer. Budget constraints, overwhelming choices, quality concerns, sales pressures. I have lack of knowledge. I've got time constraints, fears, overpaying, quality, how am I going to be judged by others, financial strain, mismatched expectations, loss or damage, things change, right? It's just giving you answers. And we were all struggling a little bit to think of what it is. It's giving it to us. How fast is that? I reckon it would take us, I've got my COO here, I reckon we'd be sitting down for about half an hour, writing through options, thinking about it. Bang. All right, let's go again. Okay, take each of these and come up with a caption for an Instagram post, which shows the customer that we can meet their desires or overcome the relevant issue. So you had all these fears and concerns, you didn't even think about all of them, and now we actually want answers for an Instagram post that people would be searching to come up with it, right? You haven't done nothing yet, you just ask a few questions. All right, so for budget constraints, why don't you write an Instagram post that said, dreaming of a perfect ring without breaking the bank? Discover our stunning collection that fits every budget. Overwhelming choices. Feeling overwhelmed by choices? Let us guide you to the ring of your dreams. Quality. Worried about the quality? Our certified diamonds come with a lifetime guarantee. Sales pressure. No pressure, just love. Lack of knowledge? New to diamonds? Our guide will help you understand better. Right? I couldn't have thought of all this stuff. Not like that. Okay, what's next? It keeps going, there's more. This is like steak knives, there's more. All right, and it did one for each of these things. Each of these desires and the fears. It gave you amazing Instagram captions. Okay? We haven't done anything much yet. All right, let's keep going. So, it can assist you with creation, different elements of marketing campaign. Email generation, social media generation. In other words, I want to launch a marketing campaign for my jewelry business that's called Rekindle the Romance, and is based around the idea of winter being the perfect time to give someone a special piece of jewelry. I want people to be in the mood of romantic dinner, maybe in front of a log fire cabin or cold winter nights. I want to give the subject and the body of an email I can send out to all my customers, which will let them know about this new campaign for winter. I also need the captions and image generation prompts. I want the prompts, right? I want to be able to copy and paste the prompts straight into my social media, into my tools, my Instagram, right? Create 10 Instagram posts, which will be posted during the month to support this campaign. You do realize, I don't care whether you're a wholesaler or a retailer, whatever you want to be, right? You all can use this to target your clients. Okay, let's see what happened. So here's the thing, and it's just belting it out, and it's going fast and giving you all these options. Okay? Instagram captions. Wrap up love in the warmth. And you may not like it, and you realize that with all these things, you can just add another question. You might say, oh, it's not quite right for Australia. That's a bit Americanized. Suit it more for Australia. My clients, maybe you give a specific of my clients. If I was a wholesaler, my clients are I want to be specifically to a retail who sells engagement rings, or I want people who value jewelry, who I want them to look out for me, or I want young, cool people who are looking for a particular thing, or I want something specific to my area in this part of New South Wales, right? Whatever you are, you can customize, keep asking better questions, and we're fine. Let's move forward. Budget. You can throw in anything you want tomorrow, like anything. You just keep putting the questions. And it's just going to keep creating captions. It's just going to keep spitting out lots and lots of stuff. All right, Joey, let's move on a bit. Sorry? Oh, wait. Let me know if you need any information. It's going to do a generation of an image. So you asked it to generate an image. Let's see what happens. Drum roll. Okay, now we're asking it to generate an image. We had to pre-record this a little bit because we wanted to make sure that it was going to look right. Okay, so here's the image that a gift box, partially open, revealing a sparkling diamond ring inside. The scene is set on the bed of pine cones with winter greenery with a log fire in the background. That's what we asked. That's what it gave us. That image never existed. It creates the image. Okay? I know you're smiling, Robert, because you've used it already. Right? Okay.
And that's DALL-E.
Sorry?
That's DALL-E. That ChatGPT uses DALL-E.
DALL-E? Yes, it does use DALL-E. Correct. Correct. Okay. Copyright-free image generation. So right now, for years in our business, we've had to pay a company $2, $5 an image. Now it creates an image, you're not paying for it. Right? That's a lot of money. Okay, you're in the director's chair. Think about it. Set the scene. What do you want it to look like? Let's go another one. Create an image. Can we move it faster? Which is close-up shot of a couple sitting in front of an open fire log cabin. The woman is wearing a beautiful something. Went a bit fast, but I asked it to push it forward. So we'll see a beautiful dress. Okay. Right? And here's a close-up. Sitting at a log fire, and she's wearing a diamond bracelet. Because we wanted a diamond bracelet. Right? It will just keep adding into the story. Okay. Acting as an expert prompt engineer. Do you know what that means? How do you write the right sentence for Google to see your posting, or Insta, or all that? So we're saying, if you were an expert, we're saying this to AI, what would you write? What would you do to create the maximum? Okay, now here's a cool one. I want you to give me a prompt to generate an image of a couple sitting in front of an open fire log cabin. The woman is wearing a beautiful diamond bracelet. And this is what it's suggesting you should be writing in there to go back into AI and get a better answer. So you got an answer, wasn't quite right. Remember, you're in the director's chair? I need help. I need a director. Richard, you're a director. Can you help me write something better? And so it writes for you better. So now you got a whole team of helpers. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know about you, but I think this is crazy. Like, I'm still gobsmacked by the result of this. All right, what do we get now? So now we got a better picture because we asked a better setup. And maybe you might like the first one. Can I tell you something? And I want you all to remember. Let's say you like the first one, you like the second one. Does it really matter? How fast is Instagram? How many seconds does someone look at it? It may not be a perfect image. It may not be a perfect statement. It doesn't matter. It's content. How long does it take you to create content? Who has here a content creator? You have content. How long does it take them to create content? Sorry? 2 full-time positions for Robert's business. content creator. That means that with this tool, if they use it properly, they could be producing like 12 people. Agreed? Possibly. Okay, so now let's do something else. What are we doing? Is this a picture or video? Okay, all right. So now we're asking for an expert. We're getting really, really specific. We're now really drilling down and getting better and better and better. Okay, let's run it. This now gets exciting for me. Composition of focus. It's just showing you how, look what it's doing. It's saying, okay, you should start thinking about the subject, the theme, the setting, the background. That's what a director would do. That's what a producer would do. They would start defining. It's telling you how you should start to think. Now, wait a second. This is feedback for you, teaching you how you should think. You're thinking like, oh, I want a picture with a woman in a bracelet. But hang on. No, you want a really good answer? You better ask really good questions. Right? So this is like a loop of information back and forth. Close-up couple of a shot of a couple. Hold it, Joe. Just, okay. Close-up shot of a couple holding hands in front of a warm, crackling fire log cabin. The focus is on the woman's wrist. Right? Ask better and better questions. All right. I want you to look at that picture there. So now we want a video. All right, of what we just spoke about. AI, do your magic. Create the video. And there you have a video. Imagine what that would cost you as a video production to have a video like that of someone filming. Now, did you see that, Nicole? Okay, why is Nicole laughing?
She can drink into her nose.
All right, let's watch it again, because this is really funny. So look what AI did, okay? So watch carefully, because this is crazy. And what, did you see it? All right, now wait, there's more. What's actually happening? There's a magic word. What's the word? Hallucinations, right? This is what AI is doing. Okay, so watch it again, right? Now, I don't know about you, but her legs look a bit weirdo to me too. I'm not quite sure what happens there, right? Now she poured it onto her nose, and stop. There's a lamp in the background. I'm not reflecting in the mirror. I'm not sure where that came from, but it's possible, right? Okay, so AI is still creating hallucinations, which is doing some weird shit in there, all right? But my question to you is this. Apana, if you had that video and you want to use it, would you still use it in an Instagram post that lasts 3 seconds? You would. Of course you would. Or you wouldn't. Okay, maybe you wouldn't. Fine. Okay, so regenerate and say take out these hallucinations. Fine. Right? It doesn't matter. You just had a whole video production. How much would that cost? Robert, you've done some amazing video productions. If you had to set that up, no, seriously, if you had to set that up and try and film it, what do you reckon it would cost? $10,000, $15,000. I'd say that's conservative, but if you wanted a high quality, that would be fair. Can you ask it not to throw it into the nose? You probably could. Okay, let's do another one. Look at this one. Okay, go for it. So the diamond ring, right? Watch carefully. Gorgeous, and suddenly, ta-da! They're the wedding thing, right? Now that looked pretty good, didn't it? Okay, there was another hallucination there. Did you see it? What was it? What was it? No, it went, I don't know how the fingers went to the hand. I don't know how that transition happened. But it happened. But, you know, now we have some people here who say, I would never use it. Right? And I respect that. Oh, you would use that one. No, you wouldn't. No. That was too weird, huh? Okay, let's do another one. I love these. Okay, so, you know, I want someone, you know, proposing, or they're getting married and they're on The View, and that's pretty good. That looks to me like, you know, somewhere near Bondi, possibly. And that one looks pretty good. What's a hallucination? Can you see it? What is it? The arms. She's got two on the same side. Hey, don't get in the way of details. It doesn't matter, right? It looks good, okay? It's still, we are at the cusp of the biggest change of technology ever. Mark my words. We are in crazy times. You thought the internet was wild? This is a whole nother level. And it's coming at us at 100 miles an hour. And I really believe that. And that's why I was so pedantic and so emphasized to you, data, AI, people. All right? And we're going to just do one more thing. And this is, the following videos are glimpses into the future of AI. They're not available, right? There's a program, so move it to the next, called Sora. It's not open to the public yet, but it's out there for developing. And I want to show you some of the stuff that it's been creating. And then I'm wrapping it up. There's no sound here, it's just the videos. Okay, nudies are this, it was asked the question. It's really more about looking at the information that it can generate, but here's some of the video stuff that it did. Just hit that. Questions asked of AI to generate. None of this is real. But that one is. That looks a bit like Lego to me. That was Monday night weather, by the way. The detail, brown shirt, wears a brown beret, glasses, has a professional appearance. And my last one, which is my favorite, Atlantis in New York City. Hey, question time. Any questions? Anyone have any questions? Or I think I've probably thrown a lot at you. Sorry? You want to ask ChatGPT the questions to ask me the questions. And I'm going to take perplexity and answer you back. So I hope that was useful. I hope that was helpful to anyone. Is there any questions anyone has? Yes? No? Everyone's like a bit... Where do we go next? I know. So I hope that was useful. Again, I want to emphasize at 1 o'clock, Richard's going to be speaking, which I think will be very fascinating, from the GIA. I don't know if you guys are aware, but in the natural diamond world, today, 96% of all natural diamonds that have a certificate from the GIA. Be aware of that. So we're very fortunate to have someone of this caliber here today. I hope that was useful. Those who read my article know, I finished my article with Trade Well. Thanks, everybody.